Brazil is such a divided country and such an inequality, one of the worst in the world. In Rio de Janeiro, we have around like 10 million people. 1/3 of the population live in the miserable condition.
If something happens to these families that live below the poverty line, they have no slack. These families facing terrible choices, feeding a child versus buying medicine for another child.
I can solve things that are related to disease in the hospital, but outside the hospital, it's the real world. They leave the hospital and they can die anyway because they do not eat well, because they don't have enough money to get back to the hospital to continue the treatment.
I saw this vicious cycle, hospitalization, rehospitalization many times, and I knew we need to do something. At Renascer, we decided to change completely the environment where the children and the poor family live. And to change completely, we have to work in many areas, in a very integrated form.
Então, boa tarde.
It's not enough to have a heart and to try to get something done for the poor. It has to be done right. And what has kept me involved with Renascer is my belief that Renascer can do it. It can break a lot of vicious circles of health problems, poverty, and lack of education. And Renascer knows how to do it in a way that others can do it elsewhere. It's not a local thing, it is really a global approach.
It begins here in the hospital when we have the first interview with the mother. I or the psychologist can say, we have a family here who really needs Renascer.
When a mother comes to Renascer, they spend a time in a very deep interview when we try to know everything about how much she earns, what kind of house she has, and of course the disease of her child. We listen to them and we plan with the family an action plan that takes place during 2 years. They come many times during the month for psychological support, legal support, to have medicine, to make some professionalization courses, to improve the house. It's hard to understand their reality. It's so much suffering. They have to fight to live every day.
Eu tenho 2 meninas e o sonho do meu esposo era ter um filho homem. Na primeira oportunidade que veio, com 8 meses de vida, ele foi embora, entendeu? Eu queria morrer. Minha autoestima estava lá embaixo. Ao Renascer, me analisou através de psicóloga. E olhar as minhas filhas, elas estavam com situação de desnutrição e elas tinham muito, assim, pneumonia de repetição. Vieram na minha casa, viram que minha casa era muito úmida e através dessa umidade ela estava ficando muito doente através da respiração, entendeu? Aí eles começaram a me ajudar. Colocaram um telhado sobre a minha casa, que era só a laje. E eles me ajudaram fazendo cursos.
She's so brilliant in her courses that she did at Renascer. So we built a salon in her house to help her to have her own income generation.
Mudou muito. Minha autoestima, tudo. Tem aquela sementinha, é uma lagarta. Através do Renascer nascendo, vão virar borboletas.
I've been the chairman of the pediatric department in the Hospital da Lagoa for 16 years. So I'm very lucky because I can see the difference between BR and AR, before Renascer and after Renascer. After Renascer, 60% of child that usually was in the hospital, they are not in the hospital anymore. The pediatric department was always crowded. It changed completely.
I think what makes Furniture sustainable is the sheer power of the concept and the impact, the demonstrated impact it has. The average wage as a family went up by almost 50%.
When you think about how to change the world, we think about big miracles, a lot of money, a lot of technology. We don't need that. We need small miracles every day and step by step. We can end poverty in this world with the technology that we have already, with the simple methodology that we need to transform the world, and with the willingness to do that, we can change the world.